April 8th, 2025. Margot, please take it away.
I, Margot G.K., the Town Clerk of the Town of Morristown, do hereby state that it is 7:31 p.m. on Tuesday, April 8th, 2025, and that this regular meeting is being held in Council Chambers, 200 South Street, Morristown, New Jersey. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided according to law by written notice to the Morristown Daily Record, the official newspaper of the Town of Morristown, and to the Newark Star Ledger both more than 48 hours ago. Notice was also posted on the bulletin board at Town Hall and filed with the office of the Town Clerk. I do further state that I shall enter into the minutes of this meeting a statement that such notice was furnished as particularly described by me in this public announcement.
There you go. I don't know why it came on. There you go.
Okay, sorry about that. I will take a roll call. Councilwoman Foster.
Here.
Councilman Iannacone.
Here.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Here.
Councilman Polipchuk.
Here.
Councilman Russo's excused this evening. Councilman Silva.
Present.
And Council President Umbreak.
Here.
Mr. President, you have a quorum.
Thank you. If we could please pause for a moment of silence. And please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay, we have one item on the consent agenda. That's approval of minutes for the March 25th Town Council regular meeting. I would ask for a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, on that motion, Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Yes.
Councilman Polipchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Okay, we have a number of public hearings this evening. I will take them one by one. The first one is a public hearing for the Homeless Solutions County of Morris Fiscal Year 2025 CDBG grant application for child care scholarships. I will open the floor for a public hearing on that item only. Hearing none, I'll close that public hearing. Any comments or questions from council? Okay, the second is opening the public hearing for Homeless Solutions, Inc., County of Morris Fiscal Year 2025 ESG application for emergency shelter. Is there anybody wishing to speak? Okay, I will close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from council? Number 3, Family Promise of Morris County Fiscal Year 2025 CDBG application for community outreach programs. I will open the floor for a public hearing. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Comments or questions? Number 4, Family Promise of Morris County Fiscal Year 2025 ESG application for homelessness prevention, housing stabilization program renewal. I'll open the floor. I'll close the public hearing. Comments or questions? Number 5, Visions and Pathways Fiscal Year 2025 CDBG application for Prosperity Independent Living Skills Program and Case Management. I'll open the floor. Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions? No. Number 6, Visions and Pathways Fiscal Year 2025 ESG application for the Street Outreach Program. I'll open the floor for a public hearing. Public hearing is closed. Any comments or questions? Okay, finally, at this time, I will open the floor for a public matter on any matter. When called upon, please approach the microphone, state your name and address, and limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Be advised that any derogatory comments targeting members of council and/or administration may be ruled out of order.
Mr. Burns.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Bill Byrne, and I live at 100 Franklin Street. And some history was just made about a couple weeks ago. I was running for president for our brand new self-advocacy group. Don't have a name yet. We're working on it. But just want to let you know, I put my name in the hat, and we had a campaign. And just let you know, I am the brand new president of our brand new self-advocacy group, which was started up again.
Good job, Bill. Yes. We'll do the gentleman in the back. Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Ken Dolsky. I live in Parsippany, and I'm a member of the Empower New Jersey Board.
I'm sorry, sir, could you please spell your last name?
D as in David, O-L-S-K-Y.
Thank you.
Empower New Jersey is supporting a bill in the state legislature called the Climate Superfund Act that would provide a source of funding to help offset the financial burdens of climate change on all New Jersey towns, residents, and businesses by making the largest fossil fuel corporations pay for the damages caused by climate change in New Jersey. The bill would not affect the local providers of gas or oil. We are asking municipal councils to support the act by simply passing a resolution. Mayor, I sent you and the town council a package including a model resolution a few days ago. So far, we have over 24 municipal resolutions, and we expect many more. This bill is modeled after similar legislation passed in New York and Vermont. The bill applies the logic of the original Superfund Act to the climate crisis. New Jersey could receive between $10 and $20 billion. If this act is successful, the state will collect this money from the major climate polluters and create grants for municipalities to address the costs of projects for remediation from and adaptation to climate change. The bill was passed by the Environment Committees in the Senate and Assembly, but it still has to be passed by other committees and the full New Jersey legislature. And unfortunately, it is moving far too slowly. If we don't pass this act this year, it may never happen. Senator McKeon, the prime sponsor of this bill, stated that passage of the bill is not assured and that municipal resolutions will be very helpful. Participation in this effort will not involve any financial or legal risk to Morristown. Costs that can be covered under this bill are include but are not limited to infrastructure resiliency, for example, energy efficiency and weatherization upgrades to schools and municipal buildings, flood protection, home buyouts, remediation of toxic algae blooms, upgrades to stormwater drainage systems, storm recovery, and more. Any costs related to climate change would be a candidate for a grant. This law will reduce the financial burdens of these events on town residents, and in some cases may provide the only means to address these costs without tax increases or bonding. The global costs of climate change are increasing yearly. A New York State senator stated, repairing from and preparing for extreme weather caused by climate change will cost over $65,000 per household by 2050. It's reasonable to assume that the cost per household in New Jersey will be similar. Also, as you may have seen on the news, the current administration is planning to deeply cut or eliminate FEMA, which will force states to increase their costs to handle disasters. If we don't pass this act, we will all be paying these costs. No product, no matter how beneficial, should be exempt from product liability laws. We think that the companies that have caused pollution and disease, property destruction, and death, and who knowingly continue these practices should be held responsible and made to pay for these harms.
The speaker's time has elapsed.
I'm
Yep.
sorry.
If you could just finalize your comments.
Well, what we want is we want to ask you to pass a resolution, and hopefully in the next month or so.
Thank you.
And I sent you all information. If you have any questions, I'm available to answer any questions that you have. And I'd hope to hear what your attitude is towards, considering and passing this resolution.
Thank you.
How about the next meeting in April? Works for me.
That'd be fine.
Works for you?
Works for me. We'll address your comments when we close the public session. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Judy Byard, 37 Overlook Road, Morristown. This is the first meeting I've been to this year, and I'd like to formally thank some members in regards to the flyer that was distributed with the sanitation schedule in December. And so I'd like to thank Mayor Doherty and Jillian Barrick and council and DPW and anybody else who was involved in this. Also, today is the anniversary. Former councilwoman Sandy Mayer passed away a year ago, so wanted to acknowledge that. But I'm here. Last week, Stefan Armington, and I want to thank him for bringing this up, mentioned about a registration program in the town of Maplewood for having landscapers register with the town. and I think it's a great idea. And, you know, we have this ban, but there's still a lot of leaf blowing going on. And just the last week, 4 people I know complained to me, just in general conversations, including one person who said they'd go up on her porch and the fumes get into her house. And someone else who said her flower beds are destroyed. And another place, a small property, where they were excessive about things, using 4 leaf blowers on a property with few trees and few leaves. And which, you know, they could use the gas-powered leaf blowers in the fall. But I'm thinking that if we had a registration for landscapers, that if they could register, that would be some kind of outreach that we can do, or even enforcement. And so in the process of registering, we can provide outreach to these landscapers about battery-powered leaf blowers and the benefits. And I feel sorry for the employees that work, these landscapers, because they're exposed to fumes just all day long, and the noise. And it's just really bad for their health. And a lot of these landscaping companies have huge trucks. They're probably very expensive, so I think they can afford some battery-powered leaf blowers that could be used sparingly, and you know, until the leaves fall in October, November. So I hope you, as a member of council, would consider a registration program for registering landscapers. I think Councilman Polachek, you were going to look into it.
Ms. Byard, if you could please conclude your
Okay.
comments?
Anyway, I hope that this will come to fruition. Thank you.
Thank you. Kristen Ace.
Hello, Council. I'm Kristen Ace. I'm here representing the Morristown Shade Tree Commission. Just want to let you know what's going on. We've actually got a lot going on. We have 10 trees going in next week in Speedwell Park. They are donated from Formosa Plastic. They donated 10 trees to us last year, and they had such a good experience that they wanted to come back. This comes through the New Jersey Tree Foundation. This would be the 110th tree that New Jersey Tree Foundation has given us. So that's happening next week. We have 10 trees donated by Ben Lieberman. They're going into Elliott Park. Our commissioner, R.J. Bell, was instrumental in helping young Ben get this project together for his bar mitzvah. I'm not sure when the trees are going in. We're still figuring out the details, but he did have a presentation, which I will forward to you in the next week. Our commissioner, Paula Zimmern, coordinated with the Shade Tree Commission and Girl Scout Troop 980312. For Sunday, we went and put tree ID cards on 65 trees, and people were stopping us all over the street, excited to find out what kind of tree they had in front of their house. And more people are asking us to fill up the streets with trees, so that's pretty exciting. And then the Morristown Shade Tree Commission will be partnering with the Morris School District for the Sustainable Jersey Pass-Through Grant for Schools. The 3 schools participating are Alexander Hamilton, Sussex, and Thomas Jefferson. We met today. We've got a lot of work to do to help the schools get their trees in place and what kind of trees, and we could possibly place 400 trees with this grant. So that's what we're doing right now. There's lots more happening, but I'll be here to tell you about it in the next 2 weeks. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from public like to speak? All right, I will close public comment. Council responses to the public hearing comments.
Just want to tell Bill congratulations. Same congratulations,
Yeah,
Bill.
of course. Congratulations.
Yeah, of course, Bill, that comes from all of us. Mr. Dolsko, thank you for sending all the information. I did read through it. It was very thorough, and I really appreciate having the whole thing in front of me to review it, so thank you for sending that. And I think you heard the mayor and the council president's reaction to it, so I would be in support of it. Ms. Bayard, thank you for reminding us about Sandy. It was kind of forget when time goes, so thank you for reminding us. The landscaper registration, I did start looking into it. It's been a busy few weeks. So once I get a little bit more information about it, I'll be talking to council and everything. And then Kristen Ace, the Girl Scout troops, I thought that was awesome. Great job with that. Paula as well. I had a few neighbors come up to me already and say, hey, it's awesome that we were able to see what it is. And I am super happy to see the trees going in at the schools, especially at AH. That's basically just a heat island and that's it. So any help there is greatly appreciated. So thank you.
Very good. Any comments, Bob?
No, we did look at the Maplewood ordinance at the time that we were discussing it. I think before we consider it, we should actually check with Maplewood to see, is it effective? And actually, I don't know how effective it would be, but I think before we consider it, we should check out how effective it may or may not be.
Okay. Any other comments? No? Okay. Thank you. Let's move to the mayor's proclamations and presentations.
Hang on, we'll put it over here. All right. So, it's a proclamation on Arbor Day, which is right around the corner. Stay. Okay, I'm going to read it into the record, and Kristen's gotten a few of these over the years, really. It goes after the team for the Shade Tree Commission. They are committed to our tree canopy and have been for quite a while now. And before I forget, could you guys look at King Street?
Yes,
There's a very long patch with no trees,
sure,
okay?
of course.
I met with some neighbors there.
All right, great.
Okay, in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. The holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. Trees can reduce the erosion of precious topsoil by wind and water, lower our heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperatures, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide wildlife habitats. Trees are renewable resources, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. Trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, I, Timothy P. Doherty, Mayor of the Town of Morristown, do hereby proclaim April 25th, 2025 as Arbor Day in the Town of Morristown and urge all of its citizens to celebrate Arbor Day, support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands, and to plant and care for trees to promote the well-being of this and future generations. It's really something to be applauded, because without a really robust tree canopy, the world just heats up, and it's really, really important, as we all know that. And Kristen's going to just spend a minute and tell us all about it, and something else she has written down. So,
I want to tell.
and introduce everybody with you.
I shall, okay.
You're welcome.
I want to say thank you to Mayor Doherty, to Jillian Barrick, to the council. Yeah, this is a really important thing to recognize in our town. You guys are all used to seeing me, but you haven't seen my team. So this is Paula Zimin, Jonathan Kim, RJ Bell. We're missing 2 other members. These guys are working behind the scenes. They are as highly educated and trained as I am, and as dedicated as I am. You just don't see them. I also would be remiss if I missed talking about our DPW, Joe Curlow and his team, and Anthony DeVizio and his engineering team. We do not get the things done that we want to do in this town without them. And a special thank you to Jillian, who is always able to see our vision clearly and help us institute it. That's not a normal thing in other towns. I just want to let everyone know and invite everybody to our Arbor Day celebration, which is Saturday, April 26th. It starts at 10 a.m., it ends at 12. We have games and scavenger hunt and yoga and the ice cream truck, and General Coffee is donating coffee and hot chocolate. And there are 3 trees that are being donated by the Williamson family to celebrate the life of their son/brother, David Franklin Williamson IV, who took his life last year. He played basketball at the Bud Street basketball courts most of his life, and the family wanted him recognized and to celebrate his life by planting trees near the basketball court. So we are planting 12 trees, and they are donating 3 of them. So there's going to also be a table about suicide awareness and depression. Trees have been scientifically proven to lower people's depression, to lower their anxiety, to lower their heart rate, to lower everything bad that happens to us as humans with stress. Trees can actually eliminate that. So we're super excited about this particular Arbor Day. Thank you so much to the town of Morristown for supporting us. Thank you.
Kristen, you forgot to introduce everybody. She did. Oh, you did? Oh, I missed it. I didn't hear it. I was just listening to you. I didn't even hear you introduce.
Well, I didn't introduce me because I think everyone knows me.
Oh, well, if they don't, they do now. And before I read the rest of what's on my report, it is true what she says. I mean, people don't realize how really important trees are. They really are, and how people take them for granted. How many trees have we planted in the last decade?
Probably about 1,030.
So when you think about that, it's pretty impressive
Yes.
for a 2.5 square mile town. I'm in the mic. Oh, over 1,000 trees. Sorry, but they could pick it up. And believe me, Kristen Ace takes trees seriously. So if you mess with a tree in Morristown, a public tree, and she finds out, she'll be knocking on your door, going, "What are you doing?" But no, we really appreciate everything you and the commission do every day, and that you pay attention to our tree canopy. We are truly blessed to have you in our community and to do what you do with your commission. So thank you on behalf of the council and the citizens of Morristown. Saturday, April 12th, there is the Easter egg hunt at Ledgerwood. That's 10 a.m. to noon. Rain date is April 19th. I don't know what the weather is going to look like. Did they cancel yet? Watch the weather. Weather looks iffy for Saturday. Weather's been cold. It's going to be cold all week. So winter just does not want to let go. It's been a long, cold winter. I think there's been a few songs about that, too. So 10 a.m. Are you going to come?
Yes.
Good. You're going to dress as the Easter Bunny this year?
No, I'm not.
All right, so that's 10 a.m. to noon on Saturday, the 12th. Rain date is the 19th. Pay attention to the website. It'll be posted. Saturday, the 26th of April is also the Arbor Day celebration, which is here, 10 a.m. Kristen Ace just talked about it. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. However, there's a chance that I may not be there early. We had scheduled for the 5th the Whippany Strike Force that I'm on with the trees in the Whippany River that are clogging up our rivers and causing some of our flooding. So we have a full group that we've been working for months now with, several mayors from different towns. So at 8 a.m., the Whippany River Coalition Riverbank Cleanup, that is us, with Hanover, Florham Park, Morris Plains, Parsippany, Morris Township, all of us, spearheaded by Mayor Ace Gallagher in Hanover. It's an amazing working group. And the Whippany River Shed Action Committee participants must report to the Hanover Emergency Management Command Post trailer located in the parking lot of Eden Woods Realty at 47 Parsippany Road. That's where we're all going to meet. We do have some spots we're going to hit in our section of town. where we're going to be pulling out some trees. The good thing about it is this is a reality that we've been working on now for a while, where they say you can't do things. Well, this group says we can do things, and we're going to. So that is April 26th, 8 a.m. I will do everything I can to get to the Arbor Day celebration, but if I'm not there, will anybody from the council be there? So the council president, if I'm not there, will stand in my place. Appreciate that, Council President. But I'll do what I can to get there eventually. But this is also an important thing. As you know, for the environment, it's a big thing for the flooding and the river. 9 a.m. to noon, Speedwell Lake cleanup. How about that? With our Environmental Commission and Morristown Clean Communities in partnership with Cutler Park Neighborhood. Councilman Plipchek, over in your neck of the woods. So that's 9 a.m. to noon, Speedwell Lake cleanup hosted by the Morristown Clean Communities along with the neighborhood of Cutler Park and the Environmental Commission. And again, 10 a.m., the Arbor Day celebration at Bud Street Park near the basketball court. It's a great thing, and it's great to honor that young man who knows his family well, to remember that you have suicide prevention and depression information there. That's an important. Mental health is all a part of this working group that we're doing. In May, sometime in May, the Morris Township and Morristown will host our symposium on mental health with a group. And if you want to Google them, it's called, she's Pam. She's in a group, she runs a thing called Catch Me If You Can. And if you Google that, you'll find out some things about her. She's an amazing woman. Her husband and daughter were killed by an impaired driver, somebody that was partying on alcohol and drugs all weekend and decided to drive home after that weekend and committed that horrendous accident. And I've heard her speak a couple of times. We've had a couple of mental health symposiums in Hanover. Morris Plains has hosted one. Morris Township and Morristown is going to host one together. We're just trying to solidify the date in late May. And I think that the public, especially the school kids, really, high school kids should attend this because it's really important about driving. And not to belabor this, but there was an accident on Route 24 with some high school girls not too long ago on Route 24, and she had just spoken to that group about driving. So it's really something very important, and when the time comes, we are going to promote it big time in Morristown and Morris Township, and want as many people from the public to engage in this, because you're going to hear a story of a woman's strength and determination on how she survived this and how she has moved forward in her life every day. And it's an incredible, incredible journey that she's on. And I hope everybody pays attention when it comes out and can all attend. Thank you, Council President. That's all I have.
Thank you. All right, we'll move to council liaison reports.
I don't have one today.
None?
No, nothing.
Councilman Polipchuk, you're meeting tomorrow.
Yes, but I do have a couple things.
Okay.
So we are meeting tomorrow at 8 a.m., but also 2 weeks from yesterday is the kickoff of Morristown Restaurant Week, so April 21st to 25th. There's over 30 restaurants going, and the airport is actually the presenting sponsor, so they've been doing a lot of work with the partnership. And then also partnership board elections are ongoing right now, so any business owners in town, you have until the 28th, Kristen, right, at 5 p.m. to get your votes in. Please do so. There's a lot of new candidates on the ballot this year, so it's going to be interesting.
Wonderful. Thank you. Councilman Silva.
MPA next meeting will be next Wednesday, April 16th.
Wonderful. Okay, let's move on to regular business, please.
Okay. Excuse me. All right. There are two ordinances for introduction this evening. The first one is ordinance number O-12-2025, an ordinance of the town of Morristown and the county of Morris, state of New Jersey, establishing compensation for certain officers and employees of the town of Morristown.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number O-12-2025.
Second.
Are there any comments or questions from council? Okay, Okay, on the introduction of ordinance O-12-2025, Councilwoman Foster?
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay?
Yes.
Councilman Polypchuk?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
And Council President Umbreak?
Yes.
Ordinance 12-2025 has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on August 22nd. Ordinance number O-13-2025.
Madam Clerk, April you meant, correct? Not August. You said August, right?
Did I?
I'm just making sure.
I am so
okay.
sorry. I'm, April 22nd, of course.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Ordinance number O-13-2025, ordinance amending and supplementing the code of the Town of Morristown, Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 40.2, handicap parking on streets for private residences, to amend the placard number assigned to a dedicated parking space for a resident of 50 Pine Street.
I'll introduce ordinance number O-13-2025.
Second?
Any comments or questions? Okay, on the introduction of ordinance O-13-2025, Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Yes.
Councilman Polypchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Ordinance 13-2025 has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on April 22nd. There are two ordinances for public hearing and adoption. Ordinance number O-10-2025, ordinance authorizing the acceptance of a right-of-way easement along Franklin Street, Block 4401, across a portion of Lot 3.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number O-10-2025.
Second?
At this time, I'll open the floor for a public hearing on ordinance O-10-2025 only. Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from council? On the adoption of ordinance O-10-2021, Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Yes.
Councilman Polypchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
And Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Ordinance 10-2025 is adopted. Ordinance number O-11-2025, ordinance authorizing the acceptance of a right-of-way easement along Franklin Street, Block 4401, across a portion of lots 4 and 5.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number O-11-2025.
Second?
This time, I'll open the floor for a public hearing on ordinance O-11-2025 only. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from council? On the adoption of ordinance O-11-2025, Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Yes.
Councilman Polypchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Ordinance 11-2025 is adopted. There are 4 resolutions for adoption this evening. Would members of council like to pull any for separate consideration? Then I would ask for a motion to adopt resolution numbers R-56-2025 through R-59-2025 and Moss.
I will make that motion.
Second?
On the adoption of those resolutions, Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Yes.
Councilman Polypchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Motion carries. Those resolutions are adopted.
Thank you. We have no unfinished old business, no new business.
Council President,
Yes, sir.
don't close yet.
I'm not closing yet.
I have one comment.
Yes, please.
I should have commented this on the public in my section, if I can take 1 minute.
Yes, please.
I see Captain Andrusano's in the back, our Public Safety Director. The Chief's not here, but I wanted to give a shout out to the police. We had a rally here on Saturday. The permit called for about 250 people, 200. There was probably over 2,000 people showed up for that rally. Everyone I talked to at that rally said that they all commended our police department on their tolerance, their patience, their helpfulness, and how they kept that large. I mean, there may have been 3,000 people, I don't even know, how they kept everybody safe. They made precautions to make sure the road got closed, even though there was no permit. But they did the right thing because they didn't want anything happening, anything disastrous to the residents that came out from all over. I mean, I got a call from my wife that they were coming off the train. So many people showed up for this rally, and it was that hands-off rally. So thank you for the organizers of that rally, whatever your political position is on those issues. But the shout-out is to our police department, our chief of police, our captains, our officers who and every other police department that came and helped deal with that massive crowd that came to celebrate that rally. So as I said, and I've said many, many times, we have an amazing police department, and everyone I talked to just had nothing but good things to say about our police department. Thank you, Captain. Pass that on, please.
Thank you very much. All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.